बहुत कुछ। इतना सा फर्क है एक बार सोच के छोड़ देने में और लग के कर दिखाने में। मान लेने में कि जिंदगी ऐसे ही कटेगी और सुबह 4 बजे उठ के सोचने में ये अभी तो बस शुरुआत है। किसी मैगजीन को हाथ में लेने में और उसी मैगजीन के कवर पेज पे होने में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वीआईपी सीट में और उसकी पिछली सीट में इतना सा ही तो फर्क है। वो जिसका मैदान ही खुला आसमान है वही कल जमीन पर तो था। पूछोगे तो बताएगा वो पंछी। ये एक दायरे में सिमटने में और पूरी दुनिया को दायरा बनाने में बस इतना सा फर्क है। इतना कितना है? इतना है या इतना है? जो नापेगा वो जाने कि जहां धरती और आसमान मिलते हैं, नानकुड़ से दूर, अगर मगर शायद से दूर, वहां भी दोनों में फर्क बस इतना सा है। धरती और सातवें आसमान में फर्क बस इतना सा। ये एक अंतर प्रेरणा है। ये हमारी, आपकी, हम सब की अंतर प्रेरणा है। एक कदम, एक छलांग, एक बाजी, एक गहरी सांस और एक ललकार खुली हवाओं में कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन फिजाओं के लिए, कि हाँ मैं बना हूं उन ऊंचाइयों के लिए जो ऊंची तो बहुत है पर नामुमकिन भी नहीं, क्योंकि मुमकिन और नामुमकिन में बस इतना सा फर्क है। धूप छांव में फर्क बस इतना सा है। तो बस चलिए फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया के साथ ये फर्क मिटा देते हैं। फ्रेंचाइज इंडिया, 20 years of ideas.
A very good afternoon to each and everyone for our Business Opportunity Over Chai webinar series. We welcome you to our 322nd edition for this particular digital representation, where our aim is to provide you the information about the brand. We do not endorse any particular brand. If I talk about Franchise India is Asia's largest integrated franchise solution company, which is helping day in, day out all the investors in getting the business solutions from our side so that they can take a conscious decision of selecting the right franchisee for themselves and for their families. With this introduction, may I welcome and invite management team of Franchise India, Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am. Gaurav sir is the chairman of Franchise India and Sonia ma'am, she is the founder of Franwork team. And they are helping day in, day out all the investors for any kind of the business solutions. We would like to welcome and invite our brand of the day. We invite Ms. Harshita. She's the CEO of Care for Wear. It's a 6-decade-old brand, a respectable name in the dry cleaning and laundry industry. They started their journey in 1961 and they have presently they have 6 outlets plus 1 centralized warehouse, and they provide the complete care range for all your garments, shoes, bags, toys, and many more items. But before we formally invite Ms. Harshita to talk about this business opportunity for you, I would like to invite Sonia ma'am to talk about our initiative which we have taken for all our investors under Advantage program. Thank you so much, Sonia ma'am, for joining in today. Over to you.
Thank you, Ashna, and welcome all our friends. And I also welcome our brand for the day, Care for Wear, and also welcome Harshita ji. And friends, like every morning, I'll give maybe 1 minute on giving you understanding on the IE Advantage program. Franchise India has played an important role in being a catalyst in the franchise industry, and hence always believed and acted in a manner that could boost the spirit of entrepreneurship, but through very responsible franchising. And this was the idea behind all the webinars that we've been doing, where we try to bring in the entire knowledge base to every prospective investor. And at the same time, we also at Franchise India work with prospective business buyers, and we work along to evaluate the right and appropriate fit of business, which is based on your own profiling, the interest, the risk appetite, the industry, market. So we do all that into consideration and advise you what is appropriate for you. So in case you're keen to also explore and take any guided and personalized solutions to your business buying, you can reach on our hotline number and we'll help you connect with our advisors, including our IFCs, including me and Mr. Maria, who also do a lot of direct brainstorming sessions with our prospective investors. And friends, with this, I'll not take much time. And just one event which I want to tell every investor who is participating even today. This is an event which we are starting on 1st of June. This is, I would say, the biggest event in the history of franchising. There's no event ever happened in India or globally anywhere, which is 100 consecutive days of webinars that we would do. Here we're covering even micro cities, tier 1, tier 2. And we'll have companies participating from all across India. And these are 100 cities. The calendar of this event will come to all our investors in the next webinar. And you can also find a link of participating based on the city you are from. And we'll bring brands from your own city you are keen to expand and penetrate. So if you're keen, we'll share you with the information, and you can also reach on the hotline number to get any further information on this show. So this show would also have, at the end of the event, we'll also have a grand finale. We'll also award a lot of companies who have participated in the show, and this would also be a lot of debutant or companies who have fared very well in this pandemic which started last year. So thank you, friends, for joining in once again, and over to you, Archana.
Sure. Thank you so much, Sonia ma'am, for informing us about the different programs we have got for our investors. Now we invite Ms. Harshita Maheshwari to talk about the business opportunity. Thank you so much, Harshita, for sparing time today and joining us for the business opportunity. Can we have the presentation from your side?
Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Just give me a minute, I'll share the screen. Is the screen visible?
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. So as the introduction went, I'm Harshita Maheshwari. I'm the CEO of Careforware. And Careforware is a very well-established brand which has been backed by a 6-decade-old legacy. It started in 1961. It was started by my grandfather, late Mr. R.K. Maheshwari. His vision was to serve the best dry cleaning possible to not the direct consumers, but to other laundries who said that they did laundry and dry cleaning. Back then, dry cleaning was not that easy. Dry cleaning, we didn't have the right machinery available, and not everybody had it. So we were the hub, we were the B2B service provider for all these laundries who would provide everyday needs to other customers. That was back in 1961. And that time we started with a traditional plus the technology aspect was also there. We had the Dhobi Ghat system, plus we had the petrol wash machines that used to go on back then. So it was a mix of both, even when we started back in 1961. So after doing that for a couple of decades, in 2012, we started with Careforware, the brand of Manju Cleaners, with the vision to serve the customers directly. Now, we had laundries here, but they were not up to the mark. Now we've seen the modern laundry concept for premium wear, and that was a very well established concept in the West. But what about here? We didn't have that here. So in 2012, the only competitors we had were international competitors and really small, really small laundries or modern laundries which were just coming up. So in 2012, we started Careforware, thinking if the international players can do it, we have the resources, we have the experience to do it, and that's when we got into retail. We had the best machines, we still do have the most advanced technology in place to serve the customers, and it's in 2000 by 2020, sorry, by 2020, we now have 6 retail stores all over Mumbai, and we have one workshop which is about about 7,000 square feet to serve to serve these 6 stores. And it's a centralized workshop, and we not just serve these 6 stores, but we also have other laundries which we started off with the B2B sector. We still do. Yeah. That's been the history, and that's how we've been there. We've been in the industry. We've had the experience for 60 years, and hopefully we'll have it for 60 more. Moving on to our business strengths. Like I have already emphasized on the technology and the machine, I would like to speak a little bit more about the technology that we use. We have the dry cleaning machines, like we use the hydrocarbon solvent, and also we have wet cleaning machines. Wet cleaning is a recent technology that has come in, which is also called the green or the eco-friendly or the environmental friendly way of dry cleaning garments. So we are equipped with dry cleaning and wet cleaning machines, and along with that, the regular laundry machines, which are needed for your everyday care. Now, since we have been in the industry for so long, we very strongly believe there are certain things that can be done right with the traditional methods of doing it. The traditional methods are really important in giving you the best quality of cleaning. So again, we use a combination of both, and we've always been a strong, our companies always strongly believe that along with the latest technology, you also need a bit of the traditional methods. You need to take the best of the traditional methods to accompany it. You can't have the best machines and not use standardized best chemicals. These go hand in hand. You cannot, the chemicals that we use are standardized. And there are when cleaning normally is not taken as something scientific, right? So it's just like kapde washing machine mein dalo nikalo ho gaya. But there's an entire science that goes behind it. We have a wide range of chemicals. We've got neutralizers, boosters, emulsifiers, detergents, the list goes on. So destainers, etc. So now all these chemicals have different permutation and combination to give you the right output, to give you the desired output that you're looking for. Not every garment can be treated with the same combination. So now we use a different, and over the years we've learned that this works the best. This is how you need to get the output that you require. So yeah, and the experience has taught us the most. We've tried multiple things. We've done multiple experiments to kind of find the right fit and find the best quality that we can serve. Now, coming to the pricing. When we started the retail brand 2012, we came with a very clear intention that we do not, giving the same quality is possible at a lower cost to the customers. Because the international players that were there back then, and our pricing is such that we're not very premium. We don't charge a premium. Our pricing is modest, and our quality that we're giving is at par to the best brands in India today. So that's about the competitive pricing. Moving on to garment tracking. So technology, we feel, is not just related to machinery. Technology comes in different aspects of the business as well. When it comes to garment tracking and IT-enabled employee and customer management, we have a barcode system which allows us to track every single garment, wherever they are, whatever process they're in. This kind of helps us minimize any kind of breakdown. Like we know if a garment is missing, we know if what is the problem that happened, where was the problem that happened. So the garment tracking is one of the reasons why we've been able to maintain the quality that we do. and IT enabled employee and customer management system that allows scalability for us. Um, for us to be able to manage 6 stores is possible because it's IT enabled. For us to have a tracking of employees of how the customer is reacting, how the customer is behaving, what has been the customer's response to every single thing that we do, has given us an edge over these few years. And coming to customer centric, now I really believe that the clothes that you wear every morning either make or break your day. Like, you know, at the back of your head, if you're wearing something you don't like, you're not feeling that good about the day. Like, the mood is not right. So I believe that every customer has a preference of how they want the clothes. Like, some want it really with really high starch, like a lot of starch, and some don't. So making sure that the customer gets their required quality, and to be able to maintain it, like to have that repeat value every time they should, without asking, get what they want, so that uh, that customer sticks with you, that customer is loyal to you. So customer centric approach has been our way to go since the very beginning, since the very first day. We believed that if the customer gets what they want, if the customer gets more than what they want, they'll stick by you. Moving on to the process. Um, for the customer side, the process is really easy, like how it should be. It's simple. Either you call us, you WhatsApp us, you go on our website, or you just come to our store and drop the clothes. We'll come whenever you're available. We'll ask you the available time. We can pick the clothes up, and then in a few days, in a couple of days, we give them back to you delivered. Now, of course, there are urgent services also. Like, we also do express services, but we clean your garments and we deliver them back to your place. Yeah. Now, this was the workflow for the customers. Coming back to us, we have set a 9-step process that happens when from your pickup of the garments to the delivery. Now, pickup of the garments, of course, very basic. The employee goes and picks them up, and then you invoice the garments, you tag them to make sure that you can track the entire rest of the process. You know what's happening in the rest of the process. So invoicing and tagging. And you move on to inspecting them, seeing what are the problem areas of the garment, what can be done about them, what is the right process, where should it fall next into the, like, what cleaning method should be used, etc. You spot them. Of course, spotting is a stain removal process, basically, where every garment that the stains that cannot be removed in the cleaning process, they are pre-treated. The stains are looked at. You figure out what the stain is, and then depending on the kind of stain, you use the right concentrated chemical to clean them. And moving on, then you decide which kind of process is fit for cleaning. Now, there are varieties of process. Dry cleaning is of varieties of types. There's wet cleaning, there's laundry. Now, what process will give the best output for your garment? After that, we check if the quality is right, and then you move on to steam ironing. Yeah, again, if the quality is not right, it's reprocessed. You figure out what's wrong with it, and then we reprocess it again. Now, moving on to then going to the finishing stage, where you steam iron the garments. Sorry. So in steam ironing, it's a little different from the regular ironing, that in the sense that it uses steam to iron remove the wrinkles. You can actually we actually have a distance of, say, suppose 1 inch or 1 inch from the garment, and you're ironing them. So it's very difficult to ruin the garment in steam ironing, because they're never going to have those iron marks that are there. Why? Because you very rarely keep the iron on the garment. There's a gap. You just move the steam across the garment, and the wrinkles are gone. So yeah, that's the process of ironing. And then you move on to packaging. The packaging, again, depends on how the customer likes it, and how he has his wardrobe space. He or she, depending on their wardrobe space, they tell us how they want to pack them, and then we deliver them to them at their doorstep, or if they're going to come at the store and pick them up, and that's that. Moving on, we've had a wide range of services, as you can see. There's dry cleaning, there's wet cleaning, and of course, now we've started with Glow Laundry recently. Since the pandemic hit us, we realized that there is a need for everyday hygiene, which the customers can give us. So that's a more affordable option and a more safer option for cleaning your everyday clothes, more viable option for cleaning your everyday clothes which you wear at home. So that's the service that we've come up with, and we keep doing. Of course, if you want to stay in the business for so long, you keep adding and subtracting services as and when required along the way, right? So then we have steam mining, as I've already discussed. Then there's roll pressing, which we do for saris especially, and upholstery cleaning. Now, most people don't don't know about these kind of services which are available. It's sofa cleaning. We come to your doorstep, clean your sofa, clean them. Uh, we clean the curtains that have been curtains, uh, carpets, sofas, any kind of upholstery that can be cleaned. You know, those lamps that we have at home, the cloth ones, even those, if it can be washed, we can wash them. Coming on to shoe cleaning has been really popular these days. When you buy such expensive shoes, you need to be able to maintain them, and it's not just with shoes, it's with clothes. Every garment that you buy, you're going to have to maintain them, and most times we kind of ignore that. Shoe cleaning, then there's bag cleaning, again leathers, all kinds of leathers, all kinds of PU leathers, which are a lot more delicate, and then toy cleaning as well. Yeah, as I mentioned, we started off with B2B, and B2B, not just laundries, there are also other sectors of B2B which we still are open to cater, and we do cater. We still do cater. There's salons, there's restaurants, religious organizations, daycares, hotels, motels, nail salons, there are gyms, and then there are designers who give us their clothes in bulk. Now these are the rates are a little different for them. They help us during a little bit of an off season time when it's an off season. These are the kind of things that make it easier for the store to keep rolling the revenue. That's a look at a few of our stores. So you'll see all of them are very, very similar. They all look the same. The theme has always been consistent. All our stores look like this. And what we've tried to do is keep the look and feel of the store very, very fresh, very attractive. So when you pass by, at least and you think, and if you don't know what it is, you might skip that it's a laundry sometimes. But but most times, yeah, it does attract people a lot. Again, we use branded vehicles. These have been a great asset. Now, most times when we go for pickup and delivery in a society where our pickup boy or the delivery guy will go up to the house and deliver the clothes, and the van is still there, other people notice it. Other residents notice it. Other residents want to know how, like, where is this laundry, and gradually people start, like, we start getting customers from the entire society. These are our toy cleaning and shoe cleaning services. These are like a little wow. You know, we love making old things new, is what I'm going to say to this. You can see the difference between the befores and the afters. Yeah, I don't think I need to say much about this. Moving on, I'll talk a little about the industry now. Now, they say the statistics say that the global average per capita spent is $23 US dollars, whereas in India it's only 2.97 US dollars, which means that India can grow 7.7 times more to reach the average. Now, knowing that there is a scope like that, you know what, like, it's very evident what you need to do. There is, and there is a scope. You see the scope. Today, everybody wants to wear branded clothes. Everybody is wearing branded clothes. You need to focus. We need to make an awareness about how to maintain them. Now, the part where people buy these clothes is done. But now we need to start talking about how are we going to take steps to maintain them. And that's where laundries step in. We need to have more of these laundries, have more of more like care for wears, so that there is enough awareness about the kind of service that is available. Even today, people are very surprised to see a shoe cleaning and carpet cleaning and toy cleaning and bag cleaning. And that is a problem. We need to create more awareness. When you spend so much on your shoes, on your bags, on your clothes, the focus has to be on the maintenance. I cannot emphasize on that enough. So seeing that, we know that there is a huge scope in the market to achieve that, and there is a lot of potential there. Now coming on the positioning of Careforware in the market. So you'll see that we believe over the years that the quality of service that we've been serving has been equal to the best that is available today. And we are not premiumly charged. We don't charge a premium. We're not. I'm not going to say we're very affordable or extremely like we don't compete with the Dhobis, but yeah, we are somewhere in the middle, which makes us a very perfectly positioned brand. The reason why I'm saying that is because customers who go to these premium brands don't mind coming to us. They feel that the quality is same, that they're getting a better price. They come to us. Whereas the people who go to a lower priced brand would now sometimes don't mind spending a lot more, a little more for a lot more quality. So yeah, that's the kind of market positioning we always had in mind since the very beginning. This kind of market positioning really helps us scale our model, and we can grow knowing that there is this gap which we are filling in the market. Now coming to franchising, the franchise model, we are offering, looking for partners actually, partners that can set up stores across Mumbai. And sorry, yeah, we're looking for partners that can set up stores across Mumbai. Now these stores will be just the pickup and delivery center, and where the steam ironing will be done, or the ironing will be done. The cleaning will happen at the hub, which is a workshop. So it'll work hand in hand. They'll be our retail partner, where they'll handle the customer side and we'll handle the cleaning. Yeah, and we have the opportunity of doing servicing the retail, and of course we can get more corporate clientele as well. Now the store, the spoke model, will be responsible for the pickup and delivery of the garments, making sure that the garments are well finished, they are ironed, and then the marketing of the store is of course. And the partner profile that we're looking for is either people who are existingly own a dry cleaning store, if they're new entrepreneurs, or they're property owners, or anybody who would like to start something new with minimal knowledge will be able to do so with our guidance and with our help. The area required is 150 to 175. It should be about 150, 175, because we need to fit in a steam mining table, a counter, etc., etc. So to be able to do that, we need a 175 square feet. The setup cost will be 10,50,000. This includes a steam mining. This includes a Activa or a scooter for pickup and delivery. It includes it includes all the furniture that goes in. It includes all the white goods like the AC, the point of sales, the software, everything, and the franchise fees, of course, which is 3 lakhs. The payback period initially was 1.6, 1 year, 6 months for the franchise model. Okay, so now how we can help you as a partner, what will be our role? I've already spoken about the role of the investor. What our role will be to give you complete training support to make sure if you're an investor that we or if you're a franchisee, we make sure that you're able to run the store on your own. And if you need any help that is required from our end in terms of training, in terms of operations, that will be given. Central marketing, the marketing will be done by completely by us, the central one. You can of course do the local marketing for your store as per your needs, but we will still continue to do our marketing bit as well. Now there are when you're running a business, of course there are going to be breakdowns with human error. There's sometimes, or machines even. So every time there is a machine breakdown or a human error, or suppose your staff is not available, we'll make sure that you are able to serve your customers that the way you always been doing, whether it's providing staff for a few days, or whether it's handling a broken steam iron, or whatever it is. Support from us will always be available so that your operations are never disturbed. Coming to knowledge, so we have the knowledge and experience that you need. We will be there holding your hand, helping you with everything that you need to know. So you don't need to come up with any prior knowledge or background. If you do, that's great, but if you don't, we're here. So that was about it, I guess. Yeah. Thank you so much, and I think we can open for questions now.
Thank you so much, Harshita. And friends, you can put your questions in the Q&A box. While I do see some questions already started to coming in, and we'll take all these questions with the Harshita. And before we do that, I'll also say, laundry as an industry has seen a very big and rather very huge transformation in the last few years. And I also saw somebody asking on the market share. If we talk about laundry at large, we've seen the numbers, the global market in US versus the Indian market, as Harshita had shown in the presentation. But I'll add on and say the current market penetration for organized sector, where we have brands like Care for You and other brands in the laundry space, is close to about 5% when we compare to the unorganized ones. But another thing which is very important to note is also the organized sector is growing at a higher pace than the unorganized ones. And the other thing is scaling up for many players, especially the unorganized one, who are just running 1 and 2 perhaps centers. It has been very difficult for most of these players because of operational intensity, of business, which is both back end and front end. And hence the industry is highly fragmented. Only few players, I would say in India or regionally, have been able to achieve what it takes. And talking about Care for You, this is about a 60-year-old company, the parent company, and they opened up this brand about, I think, 8 years back. Right? That's 2012. They've opened the company, and this is a part of the parent company, which is Manju Cleaners. So they understand and they've also seen the entire transformation which the industry has gone through. Starting from 1961 with the name of Manju Cleaners, which is one of the oldest name in the industry, and especially in Bombay. And then one of the few dry cleaners or cleaners, I would say, pan India, who have seen that transformation. And coming on, friends, the business model, this is a very hyper local, laundry is very hyper local business model, and it's a repeat use category. and hence the locations typically have to be in the neighborhood markets where you have a high repeat case, and you have a big subscriber group, over a period of time, that can start taking your service as a routine. And as far as the model is concerned, typically on a laundry business, there are two broad models, if I have to segregate on that front. So one is a collection model, and the other is on the site. So collection model typically would work where the company already has invested in a huge infrastructure. Like Harshita had mentioned, they have a hub which will take care of all cleaning services. And the model that we're talking about today is a collection model only. So the centers which are required to be put up will only collect the laundry, and the entire collection would be going to the hub for cleaning services, which also means that the franchise partner need not need not invest in the entire equipment which is required for on the site. And second, it will also take care of a lot of other costs which are attached to servicing. So hub will take care of many of these costs which are cleaning, where the cost which is for the collection center would be limited to I would say collection, delivery, and maybe facilitation of the entire process, where entire cleaning would be taken care at the hub. So there are three main I would say features for any laundry center. One is collection, the other is cleaning, and third is delivery. We call it CCD. So collection is responsibility with the collection center, delivery is the responsibility with them, facilitation of the same, while the entire cleaning process happens at the hub. So and this would entail an investment at about 10.75 lakhs plus a franchise fee. So Harshita, is that franchise
No,
fee?
the franchise fee is exclusive. Inclusive. So that 10 lakhs is inclusive of the franchise fee. You don't need to invest anything. So the 10 lakh will take care of that, of
All
course.
right. Great. So Ashita, now coming back on the business models, while broadly we understand, that's the investment, and where out of 10.75 lakhs, we have 3 lakhs which goes towards the franchise fee. Will you also help in understanding the other investment part? So 3 lakhs gone, we're about 6 lakhs something which
Correct.
are balance. So where is that
Correct.
investment put up? If that can also be understood, because you also
Of
mentioned
course.
some equipments, steam iron, all that which is required. If you can maybe share a broad breakup of the entire investment of
Of course.
6 lakhs. And especially, I do see inquiries where some of our prospective participants in the webinar also have a property in place. And you also talked about somebody who comes with complementing business, maybe a dry cleaner, because they already have an audience, a captive audience which
Correct.
comes to them. So, अगर एक breakup हम discuss कर सकें, what is the breakup of
Of
that?
course.
10.75 lakhs. What all that
So that 10.75 lakhs is inclusive of interiors, which goes for about it can range anywhere about 3 to 4 lakhs, depending on the kind of store we have in place. Then the other assets are about again 3 lakhs again, which is inclusive of your scooter, which you need for pickup and delivery. We don't suggest buying a van upfront for your pickup and delivery, because that's again a big investment. You can do that at a later stage when you have recovered all your money and are ready to do that. Till that time, we are willing to give you the support of give you the support of a delivery van. So in case you don't have a van, we are ready to do the pickups and delivery for you, which you need to do for in a hangar based setup where you need a van for that. So the scooter, the point of sales, of course, the computers that are required, the printers that are required. We need two different like something as small as that. Like you need two different kind of printers. One is a normal printer, the other one is a barcode printer. So you need those kind of things. That point of sale system. Now when we're talking about IT enabled employee and customer management, the software that we use for that, the cost for that. Then of course the CCTV cameras and the steam mining machine. We only suggest investing in one steam mining machine when you start off, and when you have the customer base, when you've reached a certain level, and when you cannot handle anymore, you can't handle the workload with one steam mine. That's when you go and invest for the second one. So we've tried to make sure that we don't make the partner invest a lot at one go, to break it into pieces and then put in the investment once they've recovered what they've initially invested. That was the other assets. And then initially when you start, you will need to do a little bit of promotion. So that will take up another chunk of money, which will be about 75 or thousand, which you can use for your marketing and for your inventory and all of those. So that's the breakup of and plus 3 lakhs of the franchise fees. That's the breakup of the 10
Now, Shweta,
10 and a
talking
half
about the
lakhs.
vehicle, because a lot of collection centers, we do collection center franchise, they typically don't take into consideration the cost of the vehicle. So they can also be delivery partner. They can partner with for that. Is that something that you help with?
See, ideally that would we could arrange something like that, but our concerns come in a few places where when there is a third party doing that, when you outsource that, there are a lot of discrepancies, there are a lot of disputes that happen with the customers if you outsource it to somebody you cannot rely on. So so when you're picking up the garments, there will be issues like, I gave 10 garments, I've only got 9 back, or there can be issues like that, and you cannot argue because or you don't have a stand when you don't know what actually happened. You cannot rely on that. So it makes the employee management, it makes the system a little more difficult if it's outsourced.
Sure. Now, staying on the investment side itself, so what are the supplies which comes from the company? And I'm sure because of the various things that you've mentioned, a lot of things would be taken care at the franchisee's end, right? Which means maybe the basic interiors that he needs to do, and maybe getting to the
Correct.
vendors and getting all the installations are done, buying the hardware and all that, wherein you can help them to give maybe the specifications of the vendors from where they can source, but the entire execution of that will be done at the franchisee's end. So is there anything apart from this, apart from the franchise fees, which the franchisee pays you as a part of the initial investment for any supplies which come from you, including maybe the cleaning material which comes from the company? Is that also
So
included in the initial
of course,
investment?
no, the initial investment is for the brand license that we're giving. Now there is a royalty, of course, that is charged, and there is a cleaning charge that we take. Now, if the cost of the cleaning, now that's at cost. There is no margin on that. Whereas everything else, if you have the option, like we give our franchisees the option to go and acquire it from our vendor, or they can ask, like we can do it for them. So in case if we do it for them, it is at cost. Everything that we acquire for them is given at cost, and that cost is accounted for in the forecast, the financials.
Sure. And friends, we'll be happy to share all the breakup of the financials independently to your email
Of
IDs. I
course,
see while we have tried to explain the broad components, but we'll also be happy to extend maybe any
correct.
assistance that you need in understanding these financials, and we'll email you the entire breakup. Now, Ashita, coming on maybe the operating expenses, unlike maybe, on the site, servicing, a collection center does not have too many costs which need,
Correct.
to be there. So, but still, if you can advise, what are the operating expenses? Typically, आपका rent क्या होना चाहिए? What kind of staff is required? Electricity and all put together, आपका महीने का minimum operating expenses average क्या रहता है? One, and what is the potential for a collection center as far as business is concerned? And what radius would you give him? कितने radius में एक collection center operate कर सकता है? So 3 questions I will repeat.
Okay. So
What are the operating expenses, including the manpower, electricity, and also maybe the cost of servicing, which includes your share and the share which is left to the franchisee? Potential of business for a center. So these questions.
okay. Now I'll take up the costs that the in the franchisee incurs. Now any store will firstly incur an employee cost. Now this is 3 people to start with minimum. You need a pressman, you need a pickup and delivery person, and you need a counter staff. Now that is, a counter staff is something, if you're somebody who's willing to sit at the store and manage the counter, then you avoid such costs. That would go about something about if you say that's 45,000 to 50,000 for 3 employees. Now coming to then there is electricity cost, of course. As now electricity cost for us becomes variable because we are doing the ironing in the store. So once you start doing the ironing in the store, depending on how much workload you have, it increases or decreases. It can range anywhere from about 5,000 to 15,000 depending on your output. And there is cost of pickup delivery, of course, when we are having a active or a scooter, or in fact a car, a van. A van would incur something like a 5,000 or 10,000, 7,000 something, and Activa will be about 4,000 rupees a month. So now these are the kind of costs. There will be communication expenses, there will be general expenses, there will be the major cost. Again becomes the packing cost. Now every single garment needs to be packed in a plastic bag, which now we use a much higher quality because of the regulations. Now these are a little bit more expensive. Now that's a very big chunk of the cost. All in all, if I am going to put a round figure, so about 70% of the revenue goes in the cost. Some part of it is variable, some part of it is fixed. Coming to rent, I think I didn't talk about rent. Rent, ideally, we would not want anything more than 50 to 60,000, depending on the location. We are willing to go a little bit up or less, above that, if it's a location which we think can grow. But anything more than that becomes a little unviable, given the model, given it's such a hyper local model. In that sense, it is somewhere about 70% is the average cost percentage of the revenue. Yeah, that's about the cost. Your next question
That is
was
on the sharing between you and the partner, because
correct.
it's the cost
So
of
now this
servicing.
70%
So
of the
apart
cost.
from, so and if you can also explain typically what are we charging for each cloth item? What is the average cost that we are charging, and what is the sharing that you do, because servicing is done by you. So is servicing a part of
Yeah.
royalty itself, or that's a
So
separate
now
component? Yeah.
the 70% that I talk about, 70 to 75% that I talk about is inclusive of our royalty and our licensing. Sorry, our royalty and our servicing. So our servicing is we take a 20% of the revenue for servicing and a 15% royalty. We have also said that for the first 6 months we will not be charging any royalty, given that it takes a little time for any investor to set in, and we want to be able to support the franchisee, and for the first 6 months we waived off the franchise fee. The royalty. Sorry, the first 6 months we waived off the royalty. Royalty is 15%, and the dry cleaning or the cleaning charges that we take is 20%.
Because that's your service cost. That is something
Correct.
which the partner would give, but you have waived off the royalty for the first 6 months.
6 months.
And that will help maybe a franchisee pick up, because for any new setup, including maybe a collection center or laundry, it takes you minimum of, I would say, about a month and a half, to get to that level where you have enough subscribers who can keep coming back to you. And 6 months is a good period of time where you can stabilize your business. And this is also the time where there is a requirement of working capital to keep, putting back in the
Correct.
business, including your local marketing, which is very, very important in this business, because you get a specific radius, and जो आपका audience आता है वो उसी neighborhood से आता है, because convenience is the key when we talk about collection centers. So convenience comes when you are available in these right neighborhoods. So Ashita, another question which I wanted, I think we missed out on that. आप क्या radius देते हैं? What is the radius within which a franchise partner can operate?
We operate, so we don't have a set radius in terms of 2 kilometers radius would be a good enough radius, but we are willing to do more as long as so it for us it all depends on the volume that we're having. Sometimes a store, also the location, sometimes the location is very spread out and you need to cater to a bigger radius, and sometimes it's it's a very concentrated area where you're able to suffice in just a small area. So I would not like to give a number that 1 kilometer or a 2 kilometer or a 3 kilometer, but around 3 kilometers is like the average that you go about. And since it's so hyper local, sometimes you do develop, like we have a few stores which have customers coming in from a lot like farther, and we do cater to a store in Andheri caters to Ville Parle and Juhu and Santa Cruz as well. So when you build a customer base like that, sometimes it works, but there's no set radius that we
I'll
would
also
like.
take some questions very quickly because we don't have too much
Yeah,
of
of
time
course.
left. Now, कुछ questions I'll take from our participants, our friends who have come on the webinar. And our participant, I'll take first question from Mr. Yogesh Masam. I think he's from Bombay, Dadar, maybe, or maybe somewhere closer.
Correct.
So he's couple of questions. I'll take all his questions together. One question is, how do you price yourself compared to the competition? And he's asking if you have any outlet which is closer to Dadar in Bombay. And he also says that he has an area of 150 square feet, and obviously he wants to have one-to-one discussion as to what can happen, because that is the area that you also mentioned is something which is requisite. So two questions which I'll club, and maybe one is the competition. If you can give maybe a comparative between you and maybe the competition which is present, and whether you have outlet in Dadar or close to Dadar anywhere.
No, I don't have we don't have a store near Dadar. So Dadar is always a option we are open to look at. So I'll be happy to uh, do that. And the second question I think was the
Competitive comparison, if you can give, what is the pricing that you do versus the competition in the
average pricing,
market. Yeah.
right? So my average pricing for a garment, if I see, goes to 180 rupees, but 180 rupees per garment is what my system will tell you is average pricing. My cost per shirt, t-shirt, pant goes to 120 rupees. But we have more affordable options coming in now, like I spoke about the kilo laundry model, where
Right.
we spoke about the kilo that goes at 125 for washing, just wash and fold, and 225 rupees per kilo for wash and ironing, which becomes a lot more cheaper. It is perfect for your everyday use. So we have a lot more people coming in there as well. So we're trying to shift. We try to optimize the cost as much as possible, and we shift to as much mass as we can, given the model.
And how competitive this pricing is, Ashita? Because there are other brands or
Competitive, yeah,
competition.
yeah.
So is it closer to that?
Most
You're
of
higher than.
most of our competitors are charging like the kind of quality that we're talking about is charged a lot more. If not, if I was supposed to give a figure, I would say 1.5 times of what we do is the kind of service that we give versus the kind of like 1.2 1.5 times the price. So that has always been our edge. This is the average that I'm talking about. If we talk about international players, we are at least they charge at least 3 times of what we charge. So when we are placed around competitors like that, it gives us a real edge, because the kind of quality and the kind of service that we're giving the customers, and the kind of, so the process of both the international player and us will stay the same. They're not any different, but the pricing point is different. So in that sense, we get an edge.
Okay, so it's per garment model and also by kilo, depending on what services that a customer would want. So very quickly, I'll take one question from, I'll take it from Mr. Raman Pillai. He's a partner, and his question is there an application support, an app support from where customers can book, pick up, subscription, billing, etc.? So do we have an app or any kind of online
Um,
model?
so we don't have an app, but we do have a website where customers can come in and book a service. What we've realized over the years is it might still take a little bit while for our target audience to come on the app. Now, of course, there has been a huge shift after the pandemic, where people have become more tech savvy. But right now, at the moment, we do have an app for the back end support, but for the front end support, we do have a employee app, but we do not have a customer app at the moment. But
Sure.
we are available across all channels for the customer to access us very easily.
Sure. There's another very important question, which again is a part of the ROI. We've spoken about an ROI of about 18 odd months, which I think Kamalji is saying that's a little optimistic. And the second question which I'm seeing is from Yogeshi. He's and that's something which everybody would want to know. What is the potential for a small collection center to make money? So when you say 70 and 30, typically 30% is 70% is the cost of all the services, including operating, and 30 is what he's left with. So what is the volume that we're looking at in terms of, the business overall revenues? And second question which I asked was obviously on the ROI, because of 18 months is the ROI, what would one make in a month, and what would be left as a bottom line for him to contribute to profits?
Okay. So coming to the ROI, he said it looks a little bit optimistic. Yeah. Given today's times, we have achieved these figures, but given today's times, it might be a little it might be a little slower process. It all depends on the kind of area you're coming in, at what time you're entering, what is the season like. It's a lot of multiple factors. So 18 months is still something which is it might look a little bit more optimistic given today's times. So I would really specifically add, given today's times, it might look a little optimistic. uh yeah, and coming to the revenue, an average. So if somebody has these questions, like if somebody wants to know the financials, I can give the breakup. It's not something which is an average. I can tell you कि हाँ इतना revenue महीने का होता है. It is a cycle, like it's a journey which you have to achieve. Now when I start with my first, I have projections from first month to the 12th month. Now first month I have a revenue of only 2,400 rupees per day. In the last month I have a revenue of 12th month I have a revenue of 12,000 rupees per month, per day. So this will keep changing as and when you reach that stage, and as the prices also evolve. There are two factors that come in. You will increase with volume in the 5-year lock-in period, that the 5-year agreement period that we've given you. Also, you will increase the prices. So it will vary a lot. I cannot give a ballpark figure where I can say a standard store runs this, earns this much every month.
So friends, just to give you maybe a ballpark, typical, collection centers like Harshita mentioned, starting from maybe 70,000 a month to start off with, because पहले 2 महीने 3 महीने आपको time लगेगा उस level तक पहुंचने के लिए, you reach an optimum. And average, maybe a collection center does anything between 2.5 lakhs to even 4.5, 5 lakhs. If I talk about not about the brand, but overall, this is typically the potential for any collection center, depending on the location. So Harshita, आपका जो भी current locations हैं, if you want to give a projection
average figure,
average
my average of all the stores now would be about it was about 4 lakhs.
Yeah.
We're sitting in the middle of a lockdown right now, so I'm going to use the word was. So it was 4 lakhs. Now there are stores that do 7 lakhs, and then there are stores who do 2.5, 3 lakhs.
Correct. Yeah.
So it ranges from store to store.
Right, absolutely, and that's very helpful. And let me see if I need to take any. I'll take one question maybe from Kiranji. He has asked a lot of questions, and again he's asking about German laundry. And do you see that as a very near competition, because they're also very old in Bombay?
Correct.
And, so
of course we wouldn't let. I cannot deny that they are a competition, and but we still do believe that of course they are a very direct competitor. They give the same kind of services, same kind of the quality is very close, and so yeah, they are direct competitors, but at the end of the day, like we said, the scope of the market is really big. We can all survive together.
Absolutely, and I kind of second that. There are many players which are entering both at regional, national level, and there is a big potential for every I would say player to reach to the markets. And Harshita, one thing on the marketing, because you'll be entering a lot of new markets, even in Bombay, a lot of locations like Dadar, you mentioned you don't have any outlet closer by. Is there any support that you will give to the franchisee, invest with them at the time of launch, help them in getting maybe initial subscriber base, not directly, I would say, but indirectly through the efforts of marketing? So is that something which is a part of your plan?
So I'll tell you one thing. When we have customers of a certain area, now from our main workshop in Goregaon, we service clients from town. We service clients in Goregaon, Jogeshri, Andheri East, Jogeshri East, wherever they are. And if we have a good number, we service them. So when we start a store in that location, of course, we will be transferring all our because at the end of the day, our franchisee does good, we do good. So we will be transferring all our customers to that store. in case we have, if we have whatever customers, it makes everybody's life easier, theirs, ours, everybody's. So that's always there. Other than that, we constantly do marketing activities. So of course, if there is a new store coming up, along with them, we will also be pushing that store. We will also be putting up social media posts, or any other kind of marketing, AdWord marketing, or Google, any kind of digital marketing that we do. And wherever it is possible, on all our of course, on all our this thing, it will be very visible that we have a new store coming up. So those kind of marketing efforts, of course, will be done from our end to support the franchise.
Ashita, last question I saw just coming from Kiranji. Would you want to mention some of the locations where your current collection centers are based out of in Bombay?
Of course, we have 3 in Goregaon. We have 1 in Kandivali East, Thakur Village. We have 2 in Andheri West, 1 in Versova, 1 in Shastri Nagar, and we have a new one coming up very soon in Cuff Parade.
About 10 odd collection centers.
So that's 7. That's 7. And I think, yeah, that's about it.
Great, very helpful, Harshita. And friends, a lot of you have asked about the information, and we'll be happy to extend any help like I mentioned, and we'll be happy to share all the financial breakup. And some of that investment you might not have to do if you already have a basic infrastructure, and
Correct.
some of maybe the equipment which are required, basic equipment like computer, etc., including a vehicle. Then a lot of your investment would also be saved. So we'll come back to you with the information, and we'll also request we have some of our participants who have requested call with you, Harshita. So we'll line up that to our teams, and I will request Arshna and also our teams to facilitate these calls maybe after the webinar or at a time which is convenient to you as well as our participants. And we can also announce maybe a discovery day where we can bring everybody else, which is 2nd of June. I see Arshna writing in. So it's 2nd of June where we have kept a discovery day. And friends, you can speak to Harshita for any business related or business model related query. And Harshita, if I can also request, if there's some kind of video during these discovery days, which we can showcase to our investors, on the entire process, if there's something that we can showcase, would be great. And some of them, if you're not available, friends, on 2nd, we'll also get you maybe an appointment for a meeting either prior or after, based on your convenience. And before we close, Harshita, I will request maybe a word, a message from you to the entire audience who's listening to you.
Okay. Thank you so much for listening to me, for taking out the time and actually listening to everything that I had to say. This brand is built with a lot of effort from my entire family. We've worked for a long time to build this brand, and we feel very happy to let it out to the world and let the world be a part of it. What I would like to say is, we've been here, like I said before, we've been here for 60 years. We'll be here for another 60 more. And we would love for you to come and partner with us. And thank you for taking out the time. And that's it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harshita. So you are the 4th generation entrepreneur now in the
I'm the 3rd generation.
Third generation.
I'm the third generation. My mother has been a very active part of, she was the one who came up with Care for Wear. She was the one who's been running Care for Wear.
Great. So thank you so much, Harshita. Friends, a good opportunity from a very trusted name from Bombay. And I will request everybody who needs any kind of information, and I feel all of you should take the decision before you decide to take an opportunity, go in-depth understanding of the business opportunity, challenges that one might face. And they're the best because they've seen how the industry has evolved over the last 60 years from unorganized to getting organized and now getting specialized. So I'll request all of you to come on maybe a detailed one-to-one session over the discovery day. And everybody who's written to us on the Q&A, will come back to you with a lot of information that you seek so that you can take an informed decision. Thank you so much, Harshita, and our friends who've joined in today. And Ashna, can I request you to kindly take over from here?
Sure. So thank you so much, Harshita, for joining in today. Please pass our regards to Manju ma'am also. Thank you so much, Sonia ma'am. And dear participants, thank you so much for joining in today. Yes, rightly said by Sonia ma'am, after this call, we'll definitely touch base to you, specifically Yogesh ji and Rajesh ji. I will definitely call you and provide you the complete information. We request each one of you to please save our business hotline number. Be in touch with us at the business hotline number, which is 97176 83838. The number is directly monitored by Sonia ma'am. We want to give you the best of the services. Also request you to join us at different social handles. We are also available at the Facebook page. Our link is Franchise India Brands Limited. We have the entire video library for all the previously done webinar on different business opportunities. You can go and you can see all the previously done webinar. You can also join Gaurav sir and Sonia ma'am at their respective LinkedIn IDs. And today we want to invite you for our 30 days, 30 cities show, 7 p.m., where we invite you to join us for Bhopal chapter. Again, our aim and objective is to bring top 5 international and domestic brands for you. So please do registration at same business hotline number. Join us through Zoom or Facebook Live so that you get a correct and complete understanding about these 5 top brands. And tomorrow, under Business Opportunity with Chai webinar series, we are inviting you to join us for Fitness Fernwood. That's the brand we are bringing for you, a very premium brand. Please do registration for the same at the same business hotline number. Thank you so much once again for joining in today. Have a very safe day ahead. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Thanks, Ashita. Bye. Thank you, Sonia.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye. Bye.